A political TV show reporter has been threatened over her coverage of anti-government protests in Venezuela last month. Abby Martin, the co-producer of the Empire Files, started to receive death threats saying that she would be lynched. Venezuela has been gripped by protests since the beginning of 2017, resulting in dozens of people being killed. Well, we can speak to Abby now. She joins us, and we're pleased to say she has returned safely from South America too. Hello to you, Abby. Tell us then, what happened?
Yeah, so we went to report, of course, amidst the unrest. I didn't know what to think. Here in the Western press, we hear one narrative, that Maduro's forces are cracking down and killing en masse peaceful protesters. The reality on the ground is very different. There are tens of thousands of people peacefully protesting either with the government or against the government. Then there's these sustained actions called guarimbas, where you have just a small contingent of protesters who are doing everyday giant flaming barricades where they are provoking an international response from media and also provoking a response from state forces. I followed one of these guarimbas, and I saw what they do firsthand. They create giant barricades, pull people out of 18-wheelers, attack police lines with Molotov cocktails, explosives. And these are the same people who are attacking hospitals. They're carrying out political assassinations. And what we did was simply report on the opposition violence. We're not apologizing for state repression. The Attorney General herself even said that 11 people have been caused by tear gas canisters hitting them in the face, et cetera. So actually government repression. But the other 50+ deaths have been unaccounted for. And this death toll is just repeated ad nauseum, just unquestioningly by our press, when really the vast majority of the violence and deaths have been caused directly or indirectly from the opposition forces. So we just simply reported on this. And the result of this was an incitement of a lynch mob, death threats, incessant. I've never had so many death threats in my life, and actually just calls lynch her, burn her alive, which we've seen them do to 3 people on the ground already. These mobs in the protest lines have actually burned people alive that they see are infiltrators. So it's no small thing to be called an infiltrator, and it was extremely dangerous and scary. And, it's just amazing because they say they don't have free press. And the second that you try to contradict their narrative is when they threaten to kill you.
Well, do you know specifically who is issuing these threats?
So there was major opposition figures, academics, Emmy award-winning journalists, people based in Miami, media accounts that were periodistas, they said, that were from the opposition, that were an aggregation service that had thousands, if not millions, of followers. So this was we were the centerpiece of a viral news campaign, a fake news campaign against us, saying that we were actually spies, turning protesters into the intelligence services to get them arrested.
From your experience, Abby, has this sort of thing happened to other journalists too who are trying to tell the same sort of story?
Well, it's very dangerous to be a state journalist on the ground there. As you would imagine, we're on the verge of a civil war. The tensions are very, very high. And we've seen Global Vision reporters getting doused with gasoline, actually, on the front lines. And after this happened to us, a Telesur journalist actually 2 days ago just got attacked with Molotov cocktails, rained down with bullets, and shot in the back with an actual live round from the protesters with, meanwhile, she's visibly wearing an outfit that says Prensa on her helmet and vest. So it's gone to the point where they're not only threatening you, and they did threaten me as well when I was there, saying, where are you from? Where are you from? And I said, I'm American. And they said, good, film what the government does to us. Don't film what we do. Kind of understanding that they can use Western press for their propaganda. But they are absolutely now threatening and overtly assaulting, ambushing journalists that they see, which is very, very disturbing. And I don't see a peep from Human Rights Watch, from international human rights organizations. When journalists are getting attacked, everyone should stand in line. I don't care what your political affiliation is.
And Abby, just finally, will you go back and report on this again, or have you taken the decision that it would be too dangerous?
I think that we have a hit on our head, and that's why we had to get the hell out of the country. And now the threats are translating into real-life actions where every time we have public events, there's people coming out, calling us spies, inciting this on the ground. And it's extremely scary that they do not want their narrative to be punctured, and they will do anything to keep a wrap on that. And unfortunately, the Western press just goes along with it.
OK, Abby, look, we have to leave it there. We're glad you're safe. Thanks very much for sharing your story with us. That was Abby Martin, co-producer of the Empire Files. Thank you.